I mean, I hope you had a chance to network and kind of do what I call creative acquisitions, which means you steal everybody's ideas. It's a nice way to say it. Right? So we had some great breakouts today, and I hope you really get a lot of things to take back with you. So, one thing about Relay is storytelling, right? We like to tell stories. Stories are important, and it's important to know, some of us have different connections of why we relay. So I know we're talking about 80s theme today, but I want to take you back to 1993, where my journey began with Relay. So in 1993, my oldest son was 4 years old, and he had his best friend, name was Evan, and my son's name was Michael, and they were inseparable. They did everything together. 4 years old, just really connected. And who was I in 1993? I was young dad. I was a salesman. I was on the road. I was, just going out there doing my thing. Nobody was going to stop me, and I was going to be the most successful person in the world, and just want to take it all down, right? So I'm out doing my thing. I'm actually in Morgan City in a store, and I get a page. Yeah, I know. Anybody in here that's not 30 years old doesn't even know they're going. They paid you on cell phone? So I get a page, and it's my wife, and so then I have to go find a payphone. And luckily I carried a lot of quarters back then. And it was a quarter, wasn't it anymore. So I go and I call, and I say, hey, what's going on? And she goes, well, we just got some bad news. Michael's best friend, Evan, unfortunately, they were at gymnastics together. And the gym teacher noticed that Evan wasn't himself. He was a kid who was always full of life, always smiling. And she noticed that he just didn't want to participate anymore. So she called Evan's mom and said, hey, you really should come take him and get him checked. I think something, maybe equilibrium problem or something, and get him checked out. So she said he did, and the doctor referred him to an ENT, and immediately just watching him walk down the hall, he knew something was wrong. Well, Evan was diagnosed with a brainstem glioma, and at that time, 21 years ago, we didn't have the technology we have. Our fight in Relay was 9 years old at that time, and it was deemed inoperable because of its location. So I said, oh my God, I've got to come home, And the drive from Morgan City to Houma is about 30 minutes. If you pay attention to the speed limit, it's probably 45 minutes. But that was the longest drive of my life, because I kept thinking to myself, what am I going to tell Evan's parents? How do you approach someone that just found out that their 4-year-old son is going to pass? How do I tell Michael, my son, that his best friend won't be coming home? And that just stayed on my mind the whole time. That was March of 1993. In September of 1993, we lost Evan. 4 years old. Evan passed away in my wife's arms. Evan was my son's twin brother, his best friend, and his twin brother. He was also the brother of a 1-year-old who would never get to know him and never see him grow up. So, as we talk about our relay journey and why we relay, everyone has a connection and has a story. And if you ask me why I relay, now you know. And that's the first time I've ever told that story publicly, by the way. So let's talk about our journey in relay. And a journey really is nothing more than a road trip, right? We have a beginning and we have a destination. How many of us have taken a journey to Disney World? Vacation, right? Huh? Right? So when we plan our journey, we plan everything we're going to ever need when we go to Disney World. We pack that van till there's not even any airspace left. We make sure that we've brought every snack, every drink, everything that we need to go on this journey. And we plan it out. We know what time we're going to leave. At least if you're married to my wife, you do. You're going to know where you're going to stop to eat. You're going to know what you're going to do every day while you're there. Drive you crazy. It's like, I thought this is a vacation. Well, it is, but you got to do this and this and that. Right? And you plan it. And then you pack up and you take off. And you get, if you live from where I live, and you get past Slidell and you're on I-10, and you head to Florida and everybody's happy and the kids are singing the Barney song, and that's about to drive you nuts. And then you have a blowout. Right? Probably because you put too much stuff in the van. So you have a blowout. Well, you have to make a decision. You've been planning this vacation. You've been planning this journey. All this time, you put all this effort into it. So do you just put the spare on and turn around and go back home? No. You go find the closest tire dealer and you buy a new tire and you keep going. When you talk about our journey in Relay, that's exactly what we've done. We started this journey 30 years ago with a vision and a mission. And we knew that one day, we were going to have that cure. But we've had a couple of blowouts on the way, right? You've heard us talk about funding being down last year. You've heard us talking about some revamping and some new models. You heard a lot of things today about that. Well, that's our blowouts, but we're not giving up. We're not putting the spare tire on and we're not going home. We're going to finish this journey. Are you with me? Yeah. So why are you involved? There's a lot of different reasons why we're involved in Relay. One of the reasons we're involved is because we want to be. We want to be part of something great. We want to be part of what's going to get us to that cure. There's something inside of us that says, hey, you know what? I see what's going on here, and I want to be a part of it. The successes of this team, the successes of our events, and that's just me. I want to be there. Maybe you have to be. I'm a have to be guy. 6 years after my son passed away, was when we got our first Relay. My wife calls me at work and she says, hey, I heard about this thing, Relay for Life. I said, really? It's interesting. What do? Well, they go out and they pitch a tent and they raise a little money and they stay overnight. I said, good luck with that. What time do you want me to drop you off and what time do I pick you up in the morning? So I'm going to have to be Relay. I got drug in. I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid. They had to inject it into me, right? You need to be. You need to be part of this because you've had friends and family that have died from this disease and that have been impacted in their lives, and you need to be involved. You need to be. And most importantly is you should be. Everyone we meet, everyone we come across, everyone we interact with, we need to be telling you should be a part of Relay. And here's why. And you need to be able to tell them why and never back down until you draw them in. Are you with me? Yeah. We have to have hope. Hope is everything that we lean on. Hope for those that have been impacted by cancer and are surviving. They have to know that there's hope, that we're making headway, and that we can beat this disease. We have to have hope for those who might hear those words one day. You have cancer. Without hope, we have nothing. And that's why it's such a big part of everything that we do. Do you know how the Mid-South Division has been able to give people hope? This summit today is only one of 5. There's 4 others taking place just like it. Probably not as good as New Orleans, but you know. Right? But anyway, do you know what you've done? You volunteers, the leadership team, our staff, our partnership have done in the Mid-South Division to give people hope? I'm going to tell you what you've done. Since 2002, Mid-South has raised, wait for it, over $450 million to fight against cancer. Are you kidding me? There's no volunteer organization that can say this. This Mid-South Division is phenomenal. You're on fire. Nobody's going to stop us. Don't tell us we can't do it. Right? Here's what we need to do. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, they asked us to come up with 6 words on how we would carry on Dr. Gordon Clatt's vision. And I sat and I thought about it. I said, boy, 6 words? I'm from South Louisiana. We don't say nothing in 6 words. Right? But I did. I came up with something. And one of the first 2 words are stay focused. Stay focused on the mission. Stay focused on why you do what you do. We can get caught up in a lot of the mechanics and all the different things on what we do for Relay. But we got to stay focused. We got to stay connected to the mission. And when we do that, everything else becomes a non-issue because it's just not worth, dealing with it. So stay focused on your mission. We need to stay engaged. Engage your community. Make your event your community event. Your Relay needs to be the go-to event in your community. When is Relay? I want to go. When are y'all doing that? I want to be there. It needs to be that event. Stay engaged with your community leaders, your politicians, your business leaders, and get them involved in this fight. And last but not least, we need to finish strong. We need to finish this fight. 100 years ago, 1 out of 10 people survived cancer. Today, 2 out of 3. Tomorrow, 3 out of 3. We need to finish strong. Are you with me? Ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're successful and the reason we do what we do is not because of the stories well, it is because of the stories, that's not true. But the reason we are successful is because we, in this room, and all the other people at Summits, and all the other volunteers that couldn't be here today, relay for life. Are you with me? I want you to stand up and I want you to tell me what we do. And I want you to tell me all at the same time. We relay for life. One more time. We relay for life. Thank you so much for having us today. Wow.